Well, hello and welcome back to the Little People Big Dreams Advent Calendar series. Tonight's story is story number 23 in this series, and it's about Charles Darwin. Little Charles lived with his family in Shrewsbury, England, at a time when people didn't know much about the secret life of nature. Had worms always crawled on the ground? He wanted to find out. Back then, many teachers told their students that animals and plants had appeared on Earth all at once, in the blink of an eye. Could this be possible? Somehow Charles was not convinced. Questioning things was natural for the Darwins, a family of scientists who thought outside the box. Charles' grandfather was a well-known plant expert, and his father was a doctor who hoped his son might follow in his footsteps. Charles entered medical school, but he couldn't stand the sight of blood. So he switched subjects and continued to read and learn all about plants, animals, and nature. One day, he received an invitation to join a scientific expedition to the coasts of Africa, South America, and Australia. The HMS Beagle left port during Christmas in 1831. It was a chance for Charles to see the world and finally study new species. Soon he started noticing how plants and animals changed from place to place. In Brazil, he found the remains of an animal that had lived thousands of years ago and was similar to other mammals he knew well. On the Galapagos Islands, he met dozens of families of finches and mockingbirds, those who ate insects and had pointed beaks, while those who loved fruit had curved beaks. What if these species shared the same ancestor, Charles thought. After 5 years travelling the world, Charles realised that plant and animal species were not fixed, as everyone thought. He formed the idea that they had slowly changed to adapt to the place in which they lived. Charles was 28 years old when he penned one of the most shocking ideas of his time, that one species changes into another. It was the first step to put down on paper a revolutionary theory that explained how life on Earth works. Over time, all living beings eventually became new species. This process happens through tiny little changes over thousands of years. We call it evolution, and Charles had just discovered its secret mechanism. Charles's discovery was called natural selection. Nature rewards those that adapt best to their environment. The fastest rabbit, the smartest fox, or the owl with the best eyesight would survive in the wild and live to make many more animals just like them. Charles collected all his ideas in a book called On the Origin of Species. It was one of the most important books ever written and a fascinating read for anyone who wanted to understand the secret life of nature. And since then, the latest discoveries in science are informed by Charles, the most important naturalist in history, the bold boy who understood that knowledge takes more courage than ignorance, but the truth is always worth it. Well, that was a fascinating story about Charles Darwin. And tomorrow will be day number 24, Christmas Eve. Well, I'll see you then, but it's good night for now. Good night.